Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is middle of the month for May Tarot Oracle reading. And Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Pisces, what house is Pisces? What house is Pisces in if you have your birth chart done? That would give you further clarity as to your where this would show up for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so just be aware that this is the perfect time to watch it now. But if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? There we go. I'm doing a new spread so I can feature my paintings from my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. And I am just making sure that there is that you can see everything. So just bear with me. All right. We have the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. We have the marriage card. This is basically the official marriage card of tarot. And this, Stella, stay off. Sorry, my cat loves the readings and she's... Okay, you have to lay down and be a good girl. That's a good girl. Lay down. She has happy feet, so... She's about to start purring, and the cat's purr raises the vibration. It's supposed to have a healing quality that can even lower blood pressure. So let's, you might not be able to hear her purring right now because I have a noise canceling mic on. But her motor's going pretty good and she's got happy feet, so we're in good pause. This is talking about the marriage card coming through. So it doesn't have to be about marriage, but quite often that's what it indicates. This is about partnerships also, so it could be someone that you found a good partner to be in business, and other commitments. So commitments you make with people. This is basically saying the beginning of fulfillment. You have the down payment for your castle, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. And this is talking about maybe someone popped the question and the answer was yes, but now it's like, okay, but now you have to work on the wedding and then work on the actual relationship so that it stays fulfilling. And then we have the Hermit. So I feel like this is representing the underlying energy for the internal forces, for your internal forces. So the internal forces are what we have control of. It's the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. You know, the question you'll be finding yourself asking is, what if they do this and I have to do that? Or what if I can't do that and then if they do this? That type of energy. It can really keep you in a overthinking loop. And also it quite often is after you've had like a dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul is basically when something really shook you, your foundation. And so the Hermit, when that happens, this is following that dark night of the soul. He's looking for guidance, and he knows, I need to isolate myself. I need to get away from whatever's happening here, or God steps in and isolates him. Quite often, rejection is God's protection. So the Hermit climbs a mountain, and then when he climbs the mountain, he isolates himself. And when he has the clarification from God, his lantern is full of the North Star energy, and he climbs down from the mountain, and then he can make strong choices in which way to move forward. And look who shows up right here. The happiest card in the deck. The sun represents God's energy, life force at its ultimate. And this is talking about you as a child. So this is the energy when you came in. You're a child of God. You're meant to be happy. This is the happiest card in the deck, and it reflects happiness on the entire reading. It also is talking about having clarity. And so that's exactly what this energy is talking about, so that you can have this fulfillment that you deserve. This young child is totally fearless on this pony. You know, no reins, no saddle, totally fearless, and carrying this heavy banner, which represents his destiny. And he's carrying that with ease, and all the sunflowers are turning to the sun, which they do, and that is to say that if you stay on your destined path, you are going to be a happier person. And so, and you're destined to have a happy life. And so this is how you see yourself right now, your self-image and your the direction that you want to go in. We have the Queen of Wands, and look at this. The Queen of Wands energy is saying, this is one of 4 queens in the tarot, and she represents the energy of following your passion. And this energy is talking about, like, you see how she has the sunflower in her hand? So it's talking about being in this energy. She's on her destined path. That's when you're on your destined path, and you feel really, you know, that's what the sunflower is representing. The Queen of Wands is known to be very sexy and a natural beauty. She's passionate about life. She's visionary. This veil behind her represents this banner, basically, and the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. So she she's happy because she follows her happiness. She has a creative solution to any problem because she always combines her intuition with her logic to be able to come to creative solutions for any problem. That's why she has this little black cat here, and it's just sitting here, not like my cat. It's not being very cooperative right now, up and down, up and down. She just realized that before I started this reading, I put some chicken down for her so she wouldn't bother me. That was my creative solution. She just smelled it now. So, but a lot of people won't get a black cat because they don't want to have, they're suspicious it'll bring them bad luck. She's not in the least bit concerned about that. She sets the tone. She's all about, she controls the fire. Like she's not afraid of superstitious and energy or that type of thing, because she knows that she can find a creative solution. She's passionate, and the element of fire is represented by the wooden wand, and this is talking about moving forward with passionate action. And also this is talking about it comes from a tree, so it's the deep roots from the ancestors and the offshoots representing the branches of the tree that are our descendants. And then we have this energy of immature competition. This has been coming up a lot in in this series of readings. And I didn't forget you, Pisces. I've just been super busy and had Mother's Day yesterday, so I took the day off almost. And so this is talking about the energy of immature competition. Think about, my Mean Girls card. This is, think about a narcissistic cheerleaders that are young, like high school to, like, this is representing adolescent age and sort of immature competition. Quite often this can represent even sibling rivalry. But if you think about cheerleaders, like grade 6 to like grade 10 kind of energy, they are in a competition and they want to win. They want that trophy. And they can see that the other team that just went out beat them for sure because they're way better. But they're trying to find a way, no matter what, to win that trophy. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will pull strings behind the scenes to make sure that they do. It's that type of energy. And it's really, as we mature, we start to realize, hey, anytime we're in a competition, we're really competing with ourselves. We're competing with the last best version of ourselves when we went out the last time. And if you can be 1% better every time you go out, it adds up very quickly. And before you know it, if the whole team has that attitude, you're always winning. It's that type of energy. And you're always winning because you're learning from the competition. So you don't lose something if you don't get the trophy. You always are upgrading yourself. It's that, and as we become more mature, we start to realize that. This is talking about your communication in early life. And that's why I feel like this may be representing, you might have quite a few siblings. And it could have been like having to compete for your parents' attention, and sometimes that energy can get out of hand a little bit. And so we have here this is the Six of Swords energy. Now, swords in tarot represent the element of air, and so the air energy is your ideas, your thoughts, your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. And this is talking about someone who, again, I feel this is after this reading is starting after you came down from the mountain. And this energy is talking about you know, going off to getting out of these chaotic waters. Chaotic water in like this in tarot represents volatile emotions, chaos in your life. And this is wanting to go to smoother, calmer waters. So this is representing wanting to calm your emotions and going, it's another form of going off to calmer shores with God. And we do have this conveyor is using this long pole to push off, and he has to dig really deep into the mud, you know, to be able to push out of this volatile energy. And, you know, we have two swords here, and I feel those are representing this adult and child, and it's talking about sort of like a conflict here between the inner child and the adult that needs to be healed. So something may have happened in your childhood that you're not aware of even. You might not remember it. We don't remember very much at all when we're younger, like for sure when we're a baby. And generally, a lot of people don't remember very much until they're in kindergarten age. Yet that subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on us, and it can cause us to have you know, problems from our childhood that we're not even aware of. We don't even remember what happened, but it's causing us to maybe have chaos in our life. Inner conflict attracts outer conflict. So this is about wanting to heal that inner child energy. And you notice there's no baggage here. So this is talking about your emotional foundation, recognizing that you want to have a strong emotional foundation so that you're responding to energy instead of reacting to it. And then we have this here of the Justice card. And so Justice is basically comes in from, again, it's almost like this banner here. It's representing the fine line between the veil, you know, the thin veil between the spiritual and physical realm. And this figure is the, you know, she's wielding the sword of justice. This is a double-edged sword. So when justice cuts, it cuts through. And it, for some people, if they've been following God's path, it's going to be a blessing. And for the ones that haven't, they're going to fall back. And so this energy is, she's got her right foot forward, like you can see her toe peeking out. So that's representing she's ready to make a move. As soon as she gets the word, she's out there. And this can also represent clearing up karma, like redemption from karma. And you know, a lot of times people think that karma is punishment, but really it is just cause and effect from your actions or your inactions. So like if you, you know, cause someone directly, you intentionally go out there, and intentionally or not intentionally sometimes go out there and you do something and it causes suffering for someone innocent, you know, a child or, you know, someone, an animal, whatever, and you do that, then that's karma. And that could be, that kind of energy could be also not speaking up when you see something like that happening. That's an action. Inaction is a choice to be, it is actually an action. And then there's indirect karma, where it could be unfinished business from your parents and your grandparents that gets passed down the family line. And you're the hero that's going to clear it. and that's indirect. And sometimes you can also get karma from your associations with other people, friends, family, you know, business, whatever that is. And then we can also fall into karmic spaces, we're human beings. And so we do make a lot of mistakes. And especially when we're trying to better ourselves, people who are doing their best to better themselves end up making mistakes, and that's to be expected. But this is, you still have to clear it up. Cause and effect, that's all it is, action. And action and inaction. And then we have, this is in your creativity, romance, and children. So I feel like this energy might be saying that something may have happened in a previous relationship, and you thought it was going to be this, or you thought you were coming close to this, and it really wasn't. It was about something different. And it really triggered some energy in your inner child, and you felt like almost stripped. I feel like it feels like stripped of your childhood innocence, just boom, just like that. So it was significant enough. And you, sometimes when we get traumatized when we're younger, we don't remember it, but it's still sitting there. affecting our lives. And so this is talking about hidden illusions and secrets. And during the moon season, those hidden illusions and secrets tend to come out. We have this water energy here, and we have this lobster is thinking about climbing out of the emotional water here, and he wants to go on his path here and stay on it, but he's, he feels vulnerable because he's got to pass by this dog and the wolf, and they're both howling away at the moon there, and he's like, oh man, can I get past them without them noticing me? And stay in between these two pillars. He doesn't want to get distracted. And this is representing the full moon, the new moon, and it can and the sun, so it can represent eclipse energy here. We've had a couple of eclipses in February 3rd and March, February 17th and March 3rd we had eclipses, and that energy, it'll sit with us for about 6 months. And I'm describing it as like potpourri on the back burner of your stove. You notice the sand, but it's in the background. It's not something that it's in the forefront of your mind, but it's bubbling away there. And that's how eclipse energy is. It kind of sticks with us for about 6 months. And then you won't really notice it, but then if you look back 6 months from now, you'll notice, wow, I made a lot of changes in my life, and you were so busy making the changes and dealing with them that you didn't notice how significant your progress or lack of progress was. And that's talking about that type of energy. This also can talk about, you might be, the domestic dog represents your home life, and you might be, it's time to come out of isolation if you've been isolating. And, the wolf represents your wild side. So you might be a wild child and it's neat to show up at home once in a while, that type of energy. So it's about having that balance between the two. So this is talking to make sure that you have balanced daily routines and habits. And also, this is talking about the schedule may be changing because there's some hidden illusions or whatever when this energy comes in. Now, of course, if someone shows up and you end up hitting it off, and then the next thing you know, you're getting married, that energy most definitely is going to change up your everyday schedule. And then, that's the internal forces. You have control of the internal forces. We're going to look at the external forces. Now, you can't control what other people say or do, and you're not likely to be able to control the economy in the world. God bless you if you can. Make it improve. But like we can't always deal, like we're not always going to be treated fairly. It's that type of energy from external forces. But what we can do is control whether we respond to whatever is happening or if we react to it. And it's always better to respond. When you respond, you generally have a much better outcome. And we have the Queen of Cups energy here, so this is interesting. So this is talking about the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and this is the external forces coming through. We have this energy here of the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is the most traditional of all the queens. She would be most likely to be married in a traditional marriage. This is someone that might even be a stay-at-home mom type of energy, someone that really enjoys the home life and making a home for her family and cooking meals, all of that type of energy. This energy also can represent, it's the most maternal of all the queens. Her cup is like a big trophy, like this is her main concern in her life. And this energy here is like she's got a lid on it, and it's unconditional love. And so this energy quite often can represent your maternal bloodline. So, your mother, your grandmother, this could be sisters, cousins that are, the aunts, that type of energy. And, oh, there's a lot of sirens out here all of a sudden here, but I think you can still hear me. All right, so what's the sirens about here? So this is, this lid on this container is unconditional love, and she has that ability of all the queens. Also, this is coming in as an external force. So if you have passed on loved ones in the spiritual realm, I'm just waiting for all these sirens to go past. Okay, they're distracting me. What was I saying when all those sirens came up? We were talking about the maternal bloodline. So there's something here with with this energy here, hidden secrets, illusions, and we were talking about the matriarch of the family, that kind of energy, that bloodline. I was just saying that there could be something that happened from that side of the family that you're not aware of, some sort of energy there. And if you do have, ancestors that have crossed over, your parents, your mother, your grandmother, great-grandmother down the family line, or even you're on your father's side, his maternal line, they might be trying to reach you from the other, from across the veil. Through your intuition, and that's when the moon energy is very intuitive. We do have the energy of this energy of the moon is really intense this month in May, and I finally figured out why. It's because we have a blue moon coming up, a blue moon towards the end of this month. It's two moons, like 2 full moons in 1 month, and it happens only once in a blue moon. So that's the energy, and that's when I realized I don't have time to do 2 readings or 3 moon readings. There's not enough room in my schedule, so I'm going to skip the new moon reading, and I'm going to as a bonus, and I'm going to do the next full moon reading towards the end of the month. So I want to talk about the new moon energy coming in here now and focus on that. That's in the sign of Taurus, and this energy is sitting in that Taurus energy, and so this is about wanting to be yourself, wanting to feel free, wanting to feel secure. Taurus energy, it's important to them. They represent the sign of like the pentacle element, which is earth energy, and so it's talking about wanting to have security in where they live, and that type of energy. And if they're forced to share something that they don't want to share, think of a toddler. They're the second sign. They can get really upset and almost throw a temper tantrum like a toddler. Like it really triggers Taurus energy. If they feel they're not secure financially, not secure in their home, that type of energy can really, really bother them. And so you can use your intuition. Perhaps there's some energy coming in here because all those sirens went off, and I always feel like whatever happens in a reading happens for a reason. And then we have the next card up. We have, oh, look at this. Yes, this is a tendency to come up. This card tends to come up during the moon season. This energy is a celebration of some sort, and this is 3 people celebrating, but they're not looking at each other. So they're not celebrating each other. They're celebrating something that has happened. And this, in tarot, cups actually, this is romantic love and unconditional love for your partner, your family, everything. So this is more talking about, we're talking about romantic love here a little bit. Or an outcome of something that you love to do or love to be. So there's some sort of external forces that are celebrating an event of some sort. Now we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, they really are happy for you. But quite often this card does end up talking about third-party energy in relationships, whether that be your significant other, like your spouse, commitments in partnerships and stuff in business, that type of energy. And they're having a toast, but they're not looking at each other. In a lot of cultures, particularly in Europe, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they have a very strong suspicion there that you are going to cause 7 years bad luck in their romantic love life, and they will freak out. Look me in the eye. And so they take it seriously. So, I learned, when I was in Europe teaching seminars and that, they get upset because it's not just for you, it's for them as well. And so it's made me more aware of looking at this card from, the proper way to toast is you look someone in the eye. And this is going in your partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So it's significant. Something's going on here. I feel you know, the sirens are going off when we talked about the maternal line here. Someone maybe from, I was just about to say, some ancestors trying to get in touch with you from across the veil through your intuition. So recognize like this new moon is coming up. It's in the sign of Taurus. It's opposed by the Scorpio energy, which is the next house here of transition. And so Scorpio energy is like, hey, let's just take it all apart and put it all back together again. I bet you we can make it better. And Taurus energy is like, are you kidding me? Stay away from my shift. I don't want don't touch my shift. I don't want it to change. I like it the way it is now. And so it's that conflict kind of like trying to avoid change, and especially like significant change where you're moving, you're marrying, you're divorcing, you know, like big significant changes in your life. And so that's or a change like in career, that type of energy, like losing your job. Especially a lot of people have a lot of fears around that in this economy right now. And then we have, look at, it doesn't get any better than this. Look at this. This is the transition. I like this. The universe has a really good sense of humor. So this is talking how you properly toast someone. You see how they're looking at each other. They clearly care about the other person. You see how different that energy is from this. And so this is talking about a transition from going to this kind of energy in your life to this kind of energy. There's a soulmate coming in. Maybe your maternal, your grandmother and your mother and that, they're still helicopter parenting you from across the veil. And they're arranging as best they can for you to meet the perfect partner. That's really funny, Pisces. All right, so this is talking about meeting a soulmate coming in. And the soulmate energy is someone that is on your side, that you can have trust in. You have good communication. Plus, both of you are highly communicating with the higher self network, HSN. HSN is like MSN. It's like commuting on the internet. The only difference is when you're communicating on the internet, you generally know you're on the internet. Whereas unless, of course, you have hidden cameras in your home or something like that, then you might, like, there could be problems there. But generally, you do know. Quite often there's that kind of energy with those people with the glasses and stuff now. Like, you never know what the heck is going on these days. And so this is also talking about this energy of strong communication and with the higher self network. And the higher self network, the HSN, is you're 100% of the time availably in communication with the Most High, whether you're aware of it or not. And this is talking about a beautiful transition coming in where you can start, the people that are significant in your life start to actually look out for you rather than being in this energy here. And then we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords energy is talking about cutthroat energy. Now remember, this is energy coming in from the external forces towards you. So that could be why you're here. Like, this isn't just like I told you, like, this is like, they want to win. So this is like, but this is like on a more serious level than just a high school, competition. This is like in real life here. This is cutthroat energy. And quite often, I feel like what it's talking about is it's talking about the danger of like having this hidden energy. Now remember, I told this can talk about, this person has already, this is you having to deal with this cutthroat energy. And it's about having to take risks. Like if you have to fight, you have to fight. Like you don't want to fight and you don't want conflict. But sometimes if people are trying to take you down, you're going to have to stand up for yourself. And this is talking about already having to do that with two people. But sometimes this card can actually represent an energy of discipline of your mind. Because if you get caught up in this loop where you're like really anxious and aggravated, and in conflict internally from the external conflict, you need to quiet that down. And so we already talked about the subconscious mind, how that's heavily imprinted on you from when you're a baby. and from a young child. And so when we get stressed out, that's the mind that pops up. Boom, do this. But it really, when you think about it, is not the most reliable, because it's the environment that you were in when you were a baby, and the values and the way the people in charge of your care would react to things. And so it's talking about, that subconscious mind is heavily imprinted. And maybe there's some information that happened to you when you were a child, and you can't, when we get traumatized as children, it can cause us to not to lose memory of it. It's a protective part of the mind. And so this could be talking about the subconscious mind. The unconscious mind is the perspective of your soul. And this could be talking about the 3 different versions of you, and these minds being in conflict. So the unconscious mind, a lot of people will say, yes, I'm a human being and I do have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you're a soul traveling in a human body. And if the soul's needs aren't being met, then your unconscious mind will start arguing with your subconscious and your conscious mind. And your conscious mind is what you have a handle on. You totally remember it. Like, I went to the grocery store yesterday, I bought these 3 items, I walked home, I cooked supper, and then I went to bed. And you have a memory, you could tell that to someone and you could describe the whole thing. That's when you're totally conscious of something. So this is talking about if you can get your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind quieted down through meditation and prayer, and discipline your mind, then instead of your mind working against you, it works for you. And so this is, and especially if you plug it into your heart's desires. So this is talking sometimes about that energy coming together, because we have this card here, the dark night of the soul, going to isolating to be with God, and then we have going to be with God again here. So this is talking about a lot of using your intuition, meditative state, and now we have the soulmate coming in. And I feel the soulmate is coming in now because you have taken the time to get your mind working for you. And this is someone that will empower you and that you'll empower them. Sometimes this can also represent this energy just within ourselves, our masculine and feminine energy coming together. And we're totally balanced and working together. So take it however it works. If the soulmate does not have to be a romantic partner. Quite often it is, but it could just be someone that comes into your life, and they're here to empower you, and you're here to empower them. We have, yes, this is after, definitely. There's been isolation here. This card, being left out in the cold, quite often represents external forces working together to put you in this position so that you can't get this justice, whatever it is. Apparently that justice will affect them in a negative way. So this is talking about these external forces. We only have 5 pentacles here, and there's 10 in the tarot. And it's talking about like not even having enough money, being really poor, and not even having enough money to be able to, you're homeless. That would be like this Taurus energy's worst nightmare, like for sure. And this is that energy, that's the moon we're in coming into. So I feel like a lot of people have that fear right now, and it's just being shown in this reading. There's 2 people here. This one's he's on crutches, and he's got a bell around his neck. In the old days, they didn't have apps to isolate people. So instead, they would tie a bell around someone's neck, and it would be big and heavy and loud. And so when they came into town, then everybody would hear them and run, so it made it kind of hard to get a job, or, to make money, to be able to have any kind of lifestyle. The pentacles represent wealth, health, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional world. And of course, a big part of that is money, so that's why they're shaped in the form of a coin. But you could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle that you want. And so this isn't necessarily talking, you might have a lot of money, but the energy is that you're not living the lifestyle that you want to. Quite often when people get off their path, they'll go off their path because they want to make money. And they do it for money, and they want to have this fancy lifestyle, and then they find out they have the fancy lifestyle, but they're very unhappy because the way they got it is like off their path, and that's not, it doesn't last, and then it starts to hit. And so this is that type of energy. I feel like it's coming, they were whatever they were directing towards you is now happening to them. And they might have gotten away with it for several generations because we have this energy coming here, or at least decades. And so this is tactics that have been played out to keep you down and raise them up. Some people feel that way. They don't have enough confidence in themselves that they can move forward, you know, without taking other people down. If they lower other people, then they feel like it raises them up. And it's not a good way to do it. And this is talking about in your career and reputation. So they may have gone, maybe that's why we don't see any pentacles here in the reading except for these ones, the missing ones basically. And so, yeah, there's something not right here. There's something off. And then it's coming back again into your childhood. So this is talking about reconciliation. And quite often this card can be someone from your past coming back, or something from your past that was unresolved. So it could be both here, whatever's going on here. And this energy is talking about, it definitely is like, when you first look at this card, it looks like, oh, there's some children playing with these potted flowers and someone's watching over them. But when you look at it more closely, it's full of illusions, and it can be saying your childhood was full of illusions, and now maybe that is going to be made clear. And it could be really challenging for you when this energy comes out, but it's going to be even way more challenging for the people that were aware of it and were using this information to ruin your career, ruin your reputation, make you lose your home, make sure you had no way of earning money. They were using tactics to do so. They were ganging up in this immature energy because they wanted whatever it is that you had coming to you. It's that type of energy. And so this is saying, you know, when we look at this card, we realize, wait a minute, that's a gnome. And then we look again, and that's not a kid, that's a little woman. And when you look at her from the back, she's an old hag. And when you look at her from the front, she's like a young woman. And they're both wearing a white mitt, and the white mitt represents this energy of not wanting to get your hands dirty. So they're not willing to participate in whatever actions, this type of energy. They're not willing to do it. They're not going, like, it's like you saying, you can, like, if you want to be cutthroat about it, you can be cutthroat. I'll stand up for myself, but I'm not joining you. That's not how I want to live my lifestyle. I refuse. And so this energy, this young woman, the old hag is just like, get lost. We don't want your flowers. They're not even yours to give away. And the young woman is like, she's being very apologetic. She's still a people pleaser. And she's like trying to explain, oh, this is why we don't have the flowers, that type of energy. You know, we don't want to get our hands dirty. We're in our best clothes. And it's like, the old hag is like, you know, take a hike. We don't want your stupid flowers. They're not yours anyway. Come on, let's go right now. So this is saying, have you learned to quit people pleasing? And if someone comes in from your past, are you going to still be in this position where you're people pleasing? You need to take a look at that. This is here, these cups here lined up here. There's these beautiful white flowers, and but this is also, white flowers in tarot represent innocence, but these aren't innocent flowers because they're from the nightshade family. And so the nightshade family, this is Datra. And Datra is highly toxic to children and pets if it's ingested. It could make them very sick. So you would never let children play with or plant this in your yard and put it around your deck in that if you have young children or pets. It could make them very ill. And so this is talking about that illusion. Sometimes shamans use Datra to heal childhood wounds, but they do that in ceremony with adults, and they know what they're doing because they've been trained to do it for centuries. So it's not something to play with. And this here is this person in the background is just someone walking away down the path. There is no one watching over the children. And so it's talking about some illusions maybe that are coming out from your childhood that you might find very challenging as they come up. And so you might be saying, well, why does everybody else know and I don't know? And like, that's not fair. And maybe it's because, you know how they have a saying that God only gives you what you can take? Maybe if you had the whole story of what was really going on and the people that were involved and how many were involved, it would have taken you wouldn't have been able to handle it. And so God is letting it trickle in as you can handle it. And it might take, you know, 3 or 4 decades for that to happen. If that's the case, God, you can trust God's timing. So this is saying this is actually a blessing that you're finally getting to know this, but you have to be in a position where you can mentally handle it, because it's a lot. And yeah, and then look, then there's this cup of love coming in from a King of Cups energy. And this sometimes can represent the energy of someone you like in your paternal side of the family now. And so this energy, like this is like an energy of a couple. And so normally I'd say, oh, this is this cup of love coming in for you, but really, I feel that this is someone that you thought loved you, and that it represents a father figure type energy. This could be an uncle, cousins, like that kind of energy, like from way back in the past energy. And it could be a cup of love coming in towards you, but I feel like you might have a King of Cups out there that's waiting for all of this energy to dissipate, so that because the King of Cups is sitting out in the middle of all this rough water, and rough water in tarot represents chaos and volatile emotion. And so this is he's calm because he's learned to be calm. And he has a cup of love maybe for you, and he wants to give that to you after once you settle all this. You don't want to get into another relationship until you have cleared up the past, for sure. And so this also can represent, because it's external energy coming in, that maybe like this is an energy of can also be talking about someone in your family from the paternal line enlightening you to the truth, basically. And that energy can be like, or they were involved in this energy. Like, you have to take it whichever way. And this is talking about someone that you would have considered, like, that you love, and that you consider like a father figure, like an uncle, or an energy of a brother. You might have cousins, that type of energy down the paternal line. And so that's what that energy represents. Someone that is in the family, and it also can represent this love coming in, or it could represent both. It's an external force, because we do have this happy energy coming in as well. So let's clarify this for those of you who want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy. Please give it a like and comment on your way out if you've enjoyed it, if you've received benefit from it, and consider subscribing. I would be very honored if you did so. And now we're going to clarify here. Whoa, okay, this is the card that wanted to come out. And so we have this. Okay, so I'm using my Oracle Tales from the Vector, TAILS, which is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started this in 2007. I completed this, and I completed all the paintings in 2020. There's 64 of them. I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and I do have a gallery there. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order they appear in the gallery. In the description box below, I'll put that information in the order they appear here in case you want to take a look after the reading's over. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. This is kind of, this is talking about several stories at once, but it's also talking about this energy coming in. Like, you have to remember that that any of the characters in tarot they're not gender specific. They represent masculine and feminine energy, and they also, they can be like talking about 2 or 3 different sides of a story at one time. So just take what works for you and leave the rest. So we have Sagittarius energy here on the overlying energy for the reading. Now, this is about that fulfillment, that promise of fulfillment coming in, and that love, and possibly a marriage commitment, that type of energy. Sometimes this could represent even a commitment to yourself, is what I'm getting. But I want to point out that when signs come up in my tarot, or in these readings that are general collective, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the energy of each of the signs. If you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice that you have almost every sign. Most people have most of them in their birth chart. And so wherever they are, that's where the energy is more focused and from that. And we can learn a lot from every sign. Every sign has its strengths and every sign has its weaknesses. And it's talking about maybe different stages of life we can be in. It's not necessarily talking about an age, but of an energy about that age. So the Sagittarius energy is talking about expansion, wanting to expand your horizons, wanting adventure in your life, wanting things to open up, that type of energy. And it also is talking about, it's interesting because in the constellation of Sagittarius, there's a black hole, and a lot of people feel that that black hole is the heart of the Milky Way. So this is talking about the cosmic heart energy. So that we're talking about spiritual and physical energy here. We're not just talking about fulfillment on the physical realm. We're talking about in the physical and on the spiritual. Then this destruction, yeah, this is a like tactics. The tactics I'm talking about, that to take you down. This kind of energy is just talking about, it is progress in motion, which is funny because that wasn't their intention. But if you don't know what to do and you turn to God, God does know what to do. So that's kind of talking about that energy there. And it could feel like destruction, absolutely. That's again that energy of the Taurus and Scorpio, this new moon energy coming up again. Like don't take my shift apart. Taurus is like, no, I like it the way it is. And so the Lovers here, I feel that this is a promise of a lover coming through, but I feel that you have to heal from this other energy first. Or maybe your soulmate comes in after you've made this decision that you're going to heal from this energy, and you move forward in that way. And then we have the falling star energy is talking about your personal heart chakra. So healing that heart energy, possibly from something that happened in the past, even way back when you were a child. And it could also have to do with a love, because it's coming up in this, there could have been a third party energy here. Something like that. So falling and failing in love is a matter of I. And this is talking about, you have to love yourself first enough to stay on your path, and to ask for help from God if you need it. Meditate, pray, go inward, ask for assistance. This is talking about, this competition is talking about this cutthroat competition. It's not talking about the cheerleader, but it's talking about how when young people get away with bullying energy, and adults around them don't encourage it instead of stopping it, that is very, it leads to cutthroat behavior when people get older. If you're never taught when you're younger that you have to be fair, and that you're not going to win every trophy, and that comes in from that, I don't know what generation it was, where all of a sudden everybody had to get a participation trophy. So then the kid that won wasn't feeling special anymore. They were just one that was participating, and everybody gets a trophy, which is ridiculous, because that's competition in sports is to build character, So you don't have to win every time. You can learn from losing too, as well. And so this energy is talking about father figures again. So this energy, I feel, is talking about there could be someone in your family that you looked up to, and they might have, you thought that they loved you a lot and you could look up to them. And in the background, there was shift going on that you didn't even understand or know about. And it's kind of like, looking up to someone. There comes a time in every child's life though, when they, you know, they look up to their mother and their father and they're heroes and they're like God themselves, but then they realize, you know, usually before, like, it doesn't take that long these days, kids are more savvy. But for sure, when you become an adolescent, you start noticing your parents' flaws big time, and that energy changes. And quite often, this energy of young girls, quite often, they want to be more like their dads than their mothers, because there's friction between the same sex parent and child energy. And you'll find that, like, you know, they'll be like, you're more like, I'm more like dad, that type of energy. It's just immaturity. And then the hermit is the energy of the need to be right is on this. Oh, I already had that, so I didn't need to cover this one, but it's wanting to come out, so I'm going to put it here. This is that was the next card up. So the hermit is talking again about, needing to go in and heal something from your childhood. And meditate, pray, calm your mind down, that kind of energy. This is the Emperor is talking about. The Justice is that you're going to be at a high level performance. When you do this, it's going to really elevate you into strong in its position. And it's talking about the Emperor has the qualities of all four kings rolled into one person, and being able to, whatever they do it at a very high level. And so this is talking about you having that. And maybe on some level, your energy on the masculine end, whether you're a male or a female, because of this energy, has been distorted in some way. And when that heals, then it's saying you'll be more in balance, like in this energy. So that's really good to see. And then we have the battle star energy. So the battle star energy is about having the courage to face all this, to face your childhood and to go inward and pray and meditate, to have that dark night of the soul. And then the need to be right is here. So do you have to be right, or do you want to be happy? So this can be about making mountains out of molehills, and sometimes it can be making molehills out of mountains. So you know, sometimes we need to be right, but if we're just being right because we have to be right, and it's something that it's not life and death or whatever, then if you're saying that you always have to be right, then that means everybody else is wrong. So that's not much fun for the other people. So that's that energy. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be happy? It's a karmic space we can fall into. And we have judgment being called. So there's some sort of judgment. And I feel like this is coming from your parents' energy, because the judgment, like we have a couple here now, and now we have judgment on this energy, and we have this energy on a father figure, causing sibling rivalry. Like, what's that about? You know, it's coming up. So yeah, this is about having an unfettered heart and healing whatever was going on in this energy. You know, if parents have favorites, that sucks. You know, it's better if, of course, there's going to be some children that you understand better, or they're more like you, so you get them, and so it seems like you care more. But I'm talking when people actually, you know, don't care about one child and they care about the other. I'm not talking about parents just, you know, children don't come with a manual. And a lot of times, like, the first kid comes out and you feel like, okay, now I got it. But the second kid is nothing like the first kid. So everything that you did with the first one, you can just throw that out, because now the second child does not respond to that energy. Pisces energy is showing up for Pisces here. So this is really good. Saying you're open to meeting this this energy. You're open to being able to heal this energy. This is really, really good. And you're also healing it for your parents, for your maybe they couldn't clear it up before they left the planet, or left this realm on the planet. And so this could be talking about them just cheering you on from the, you know, from the back. Yay, finally, like, you're clearing this energy up for the bloodline. And then we have scotoma, so there could have been a blind spot about what was going on. And again, that's coming up with why is there so much conflict? Why is there such cutthroat energy here. What's that about? Like, it's, you know, why? And this is about surrendering to psychic cleanse. I feel that this energy is your parents are wanting you to know now from the other side that, or if it's your grandparents, whatever this is, that you are loved and the bloodline is really proud of you because you are clearing this energy up, and they are sorry for leaving you with the mess that, you know, that type of energy. A tower hits. And so when the tower hits, I feel this tower is for the external forces more. Anyone involved in this energy wanting you to be in this position, they're getting hit now with the karma. And it's like unpleasant because whatever they wished for you, they'll be getting it tenfold, hundredfold in some cases, depending on how long this has been going on for and how many people are involved and how much energy has been put into it. So the tower hits and things, and then all of a sudden you have to put it all back together again. And for you, you've already done the work. So when their tower hits, it's actually going to be really beneficial for you. And you're going to thrive on that energy. Whereas when the tower hits for them, they're going to, all their actions and their actions from that they continue to carry forth from the bloodline are going to hit them hard, and everybody in the family and down the bloodline, and this can go generations and generations back, is going to benefit from this. On some level, all the ascendants and or all of the ancestors and all of the descendants are going to benefit from your actions and your courage to face this. So you are a superstar in their eyes. They're like, thank you for creating harmony on a spiritual and a physical level in the family. When after this all sorts out, everybody's going to be better off. Everybody. All right. Good work, Pisces. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a like and comment if you have, please. It really does help build my channel, and I do appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so, and I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now.